minutes, the Park and Shade Tree Commission meeting, 1 o'clock. This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah.
Okay. For people to watch if they want. Do we want like a quick, is Greg coming? I saw him out doing leaves today and was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I was gonna like tell you like, saw him out there on Upland as they drove past him. Do you guys have anything for us? Plans, updates wise?
Short report from Greg.
Okay.
They planted 39 new street trees. The outside contract tree removal is complete for this year. And they're working on grinding the stumps for they finished the 50/50 sidewalk stump grinding. And for the rest of the year, leaf picking, resident requests, stump grinding from the outside tree removal, and just general tree maintenance.
Okay. Got anything for us, Trey?
I can just briefly just go over real quick,
Yeah.
catch you up what we've done since the last meeting. I just jotted a few things down, I'll go over quickly. We cut and cleaned up some trees that were from storms and also in the winds. We did a lot of weed eating and cleaning up around the areas. We cleaned and serviced a lot of the equipment. We're finishing up, we're arm mowing and trimming and just general cleanup. We worked on the irrigation at the circle. We started working on budget plan stuff. And then we started the preparation for to plant the trees down by the old mill parking lot. And then that did go through and we planted the trees, things there. We started putting up the holiday lights. Started cleaning some of the beds and leaf picking. Did some more storm trees and chipping. I started servicing the winter stuff for the snow plows, snow blowers, things like that. Started blowing leaves and bagging leaves, cleaning up in areas. And we cleaned up the grasses and limbs and stuff that was cut from the volunteers and things, trying to keep up with that along with leaf picking.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
Thank you. On that note, there's been a team down cutting more honeysuckle along the closed trail. And there's some bags up at the fountain grasses.
Oh, okay.
They just from like, what day of the week is today, Wednesday? Just from Monday, I just never got around to reminding you yesterday. All of the fountain grasses are gone. They've actually, I wasn't sure they were gonna get.
I saw that.
Three
I'll try to
patches.
clean that up today if I can.
So I don't know if there's a rush. We can get rid of the trash bags. I still have some gloves and tools in my car because we're still have a few hours left for some kids on the honeysuckle. But if we can find tarp those 3 big patches of fountain grasses, lay logs on them, I think like we were talking about, so that nothing sprouts in the spring, and just kind of leave it there through the spring, I think, to make sure all those fountain grasses are dead. Because I'm sure there's still plenty, they'll re-sprout even though we cut them all down. So if we can get them covered through, maybe even next fall with just one of our restoration signs in progress, kind of yard signs there. I have one of those in my car. I can bring them and prop them in place. And then in the fall, once we know those seeds have cooked and they're not viable, we can plant something there in the fall, next fall.
When you say fountain grass, do you mean the Chinese silver
Yes.
grass?
Yeah, where there was a big swath of them off of the circle on, what is that, High Road. If you look down, all of them are gone. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All of them are gone, yes. I had 3 invasive team working on them. I'm kind of going sidetracked, but yeah.
Would it be easier just to grind what's left of those out as opposed to tarping it? Just throwing that out.
There's going to be, either way you'd have to tarp it because the seed heads are still laying in the ground there.
Yeah.
We did not get them out of the ground before the seeds sort of opened. So either way, they're gonna, they are still maybe a foot high. So I don't know if you go over. I don't want to give you guys any extra work. I just know we get it tarped at some point, and that doesn't even have to get tarped until the winter when you guys are finished with leaves and everything. There's no rush on that. because I don't think anything's growing right now. As long as we have it tarped over the winter so that in the spring, the heat can hit it and cook everything under there, kill everything off, and nothing, it gets no light, it gets no water, it gets no sun.
Unless you guys have a different idea.
Yeah, I mean,
We're not trying to tell you.
I think it's worth a shot, because at least then the porcelain vine won't be dropped in that area. 'cause
Well,
they
yeah.
can't Spread that around. It's worth a shot. We haven't tarped anything yet, so.
For what it's worth, Greg, for my own solarization project, I would leave it down longer.
yeah, till next
Like-
fall.
We tried tarping starting in August when it was still hot and that area was not totally filled off. So if you put it in the spring and just leave it all summer,
Yeah,
it should be dead.
that's what I'm saying. It's covered and cooking all summer long. There's nothing in there invasive or otherwise. And we'll have a fresh spot to put in some meadow grass, some meadow plants.
I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah,
Give it a try.
okay, cool. Before we go further, I don't think you guys have met Jeff. Have you been to a meeting yet?
No, I
This is
haven't.
one of our alternates. This is Jeff Dubrett. Kindy, Margaret, Lucy,
Hello.
Dwayne, Craig, Randy, Jim, Michelle.
They're right.
Janet. We'll test you at the
I
end.
think I've seen you all
You've got
around in
it.
various places.
It's,
but-
I'm sorry, it's Jeff, right?
Jeff, yes.
I think you said,
Jeff.
oh,
Jeff.
okay, I thought I heard.
Oh, did I say?
Yeah. Got it.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Lucy,
Yes,
any bird box updates?
we have been on hiatus.
Okay, fantastic.
Unless somebody's been doing something I don't know about, but.
Good for you.
I did go around some of the boxes on the east end of the park with the Penn State student last Saturday morning to give her her hour. And she took the photos for me and I just, was teaching her a little and updating myself on the condition of those boxes. That's about it.
Nice. Any questions? I didn't ask, but does anybody have any questions for Dwayne or Greg either?
When do you expect to gear back up? In the spring or?
January, we will meet and make plans for the spring and try to get a schedule for the monitors for next year together. Yeah, we'll meet before February.
The education subcommittee, we actually just met the other day. Jeff is an alternate and also on the education subcommittee with us. We are, as soon as the names are approved, going to follow through with blurbs for signage that we've been kind of talking about and working on. And the outreach committee has not done anything this fall since our cleanup. I was busy with Rotary Club, and I know these guys have been busy with leaves, and I've been busy with things. So I'm going to come up with some plans over the winter for outreach so we can start working more regularly in the spring. The Penn State students have been a lot. They've been keeping me busy. Does anybody have anything else they want to add to the subcommittee information? Questions?
The Penn State students, like freshmen, sophomore, junior students, so they might come back next year.
Well, so the Penn State students, we can move on to number 5.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. This is an elective for them. It's environmental science. It's a semester-long class or semester-long project that they do. It's an elective, so they're not coming back. This is a once and done. And it is not their topic of expertise, which I wasn't fully aware of when I really started thinking about them doing work. I did not think we would get many teams, but like I said last time, out of the 20 teams, we filled all 7 of our slots. I threw out 7 opportunities because I thought, oh, maybe we'll catch 1 or 2. But we caught all 7 of them, which was 24 students, which was 8 to 10 hours per student. So it's a lot of emailing, when can we come, we're gonna come here. And then me meeting them to give them supplies, because these guys have been busy. So I'm the supply dropper offer, the supply picker upper, making sure, all of their work's complete. I have some who've been great. I've had others who've been lacking, which Larry said too was gonna happen. I have a small, they're supposed to have all of their hours in by December 1st. I have a small handful that still have many hours to complete, of which they can't seem to find their teammates to work with them, which I told them from the very beginning, I'm not letting anybody on site alone. So they need at least one person from their team or even from another team working with them. So now I've reverted to getting them to do some research work for me, in terms of coming up with some more resources and information that we could use towards our signage. That's all due by December 1st. And if their hours are, I think, are like 30%, 35% of their grade. If they don't get their hours, they can still walk away with a 65. I don't know. Nobody has 0 hours. There is one person with 1 hour. So yeah, I think it went well. I would be willing to do it again next year with them. I would just probably narrow it down to like maybe 3 teams max. So yeah, it's not going bad. In terms of other things with Penn State, they are having their sustainability conference. What do they call it?
Expo, yeah.
Expo. The Sustainability Expo is on December 1st. I know, Nate, you have a table there, right?
Yeah.
I declined getting a table. I just didn't think I was going to have the time. But I do intend on attending. I think What's Up has a table there. There's some other people that have 8 tables there. I'm going to attend and see all my students have to do their presentation there. So I'd like to go watch that. Anybody's interested, I can send you the link to it. It seems like a kind of a cool event. It's, I think, 12 to 4 on Monday, December 1st, if I recall. And I'm going to, once I'm wrapped up with the Penn State team, reach back out to Brian to start talking to him about the bio blitz in the spring and trying to get the parklands, which we talked about being a part of that, which is really just people going out on their cell phones and sort of tracking natives and stuff that they find. They did it in the city. They did it at Berks Nature. I kind of just wanted to add the parklands into that loop of places where people are going to run around with their phone and do some stuff.
And it is 12 to 4 for sure.
12 to 4, okay.
The expo.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions on that? No? Just blowing right along here. Okay. Number 6, Parkland Stewardship Plan.
I submitted the first invoice for reimbursement to the county Monday.
Okay.
Not for a substantial amount of money, it was around $1,000. Greg and I have a meeting with Corey, our grant writer, and Larry at 3:00 today. I want to ask Larry one question to clarify. I think the seed that's going into on the trail.
I'm not sure if he did it or it sounded like he was doing it the day after.
I need the invoice for that to submit for the Rotary, and then
Right.
I'll submit that partial for the Rotary, and we'll see that money back. Corey from Econ Partners, our grant writer, we had a Teams meeting with Lauren Possinger from DCNR last week to talk about submitting a C2P2 grant. We were talking initially about the High Road Stormwater Project that the study had called out. There are those inlets that are elevated too high, they're not catching water, and that whole drainage basin at the bottom needs to be corrected. Even though Corey and I had this conversation with Lauren last year at this time, and he said it would be an eligible project then, he's like, yeah, no, we don't do stormwater, and we're like, wait, what? So thinking quickly on the fly, I just threw out some other like first come to mind thoughts from the parkland study, like the boardwalk areas.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is going to come out of the forestry plan that Jacob Schultz is currently working on. And he said those are eligible. So Greg, Larry, Corey, and I are meeting this afternoon to, just quickly talk. Do we think DCNR's grant app is open January through April? It is a very comprehensive, time-consuming application. Are we going to be able to put together a thoughtful application? So that's really what I want to talk about. I know when I mentioned boardwalk to Greg, his first response was, yeah, that's going to require maintenance long term. So, that's gonna be one of our concerns going into it.
Right.
Lauren pulled up on the call with Corey and I, he pulled up a recent grant that they had just funded for something similar. And it was like hundreds of feet of boardwalk. It looked beautiful, but yeah, the thought in the back of my mind too was, okay, in 20 years, what are we doing with that then? So we're gonna talk about that. I did ask the question of DCNR, would the trail leading to and from that boardwalk section have to be ADA accessible? And yes and no, the parking lot has to be, and it's like a very short section of, I think, 75 feet up to the boardwalk. So I think we could easily put it in areas off of the old mill lot that we could accomplish that with minimal additional expense. But we'll see what the thought is after our conversation this afternoon.
Okay. I mean, ideally, I think the forestry project would be higher on the list than the boardwalk.
But I'm not gonna have that study until next summer, probably. So we were
Oh,
talking about
okay.
doing that for that 27 app.
Okay.
If we wanna put something in for 26 in the meantime.
What about the bridge?
That would be included with the boardwalk. I mean, the other thing is we could, riparian buffers, DCNR just huge on that. We can continue to go after funding for the riparian buffer work.
That works.
We could do that, if we could
Immense.
include that bridge, if we get rid of all the invasives, if they're
I
gonna
mean-
come in and repair.
Yeah, we have
And then maybe we'll bring
miles
that
of
up
honeysuckle.
today instead of the boardwalk.
Yeah, I mean, working on the riparian buffer, we have miles of honeysuckle.
Yeah.
And before we can rip it out, we have to plant something and then cut it down, and then like the labor costs.
And the trees we just put in, but it's gonna be years until we can actually
Yep.
rip that honeysuckle out.
If you wanna kind of bring up that conversation that we had after the fact.
Dwayne and I were over there looking at the stuff, and it's great that we can get all these volunteers to come in and help us, and that's why we went with the smaller pots, but we just have sticks sticking out of the ground right now, and it's gonna take 5 years just for them to push out of the top of the tube. Maybe we wanna go with a over quality over quantity type of thing.
Getting a
Older tree.
bigger caliber.
Buying bigger
tree.
trees,
Yeah.
yeah, we could certainly
It
do
might
that
be
as
more
well.
work on our part, but Dwayne and I were talking, we're like, it's probably worth the work. And
Well, and if we can get the money and put some larger trees in there. Keep in mind, as far as I know, and you can probably jump on this, Nate, and what Larry said, like, we can cut the honeysuckle down, and then I can find people to maintain it in the sense that somebody can be in charge of a swath, Jana can be in charge of a swath, where if she sees it resprouting, but once it's dead, that honeysuckle still stays there as sticks.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
hold in the structure of the bank.
Correct.
And then eventually that would get ripped out. I mean,
It's just gonna be years.
I know, but it's still, I mean, we can get more plants in there. I know it's gonna be years, but if we don't cut it down, it's gonna,
Yeah,
growing.
no, we're gonna keep it maintained,
As long
but
as.
I'm thinking for
whatever.
the next section, maybe we should go with a larger caliber tree.
yeah. Absolutely.
It just doesn't show well right now.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't present well.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The chopped down honeysuckle?
Well, just all of it. We did a lot of work, and it's just a couple tubes sticking out of the ground with some honeysuckle that's trimmed up. I think we can do
I'm
that.
proud of all that.
So,
Randy,
What this stuff
Randy's
is,
job
I
is
understand the
to-
honeysuckle and cutting it down and leaving the roots in place. But if we're looking for something, what happens after that, with the Wyomissing Creek Coalition and Nick Johnson? I don't know if it would be free, if the coalition would pay for his time, but, what's the end game for the embankment next to the creek, where the honeysuckle will ultimately come out? Because he's a MS4 stormwater engineer.
Also
It would be a helpful tool.
going back also to the High Road Stormwater Project.
He
while
could do that too.
Not eligible for DCNR, it is eligible under Act 13. So Corey and I have already talked about when that opens next year, roping Nick into it, because him and I have had that conversation, and getting an application in for that as well. So, I mean, best case scenario, we'd get funded through both programs. We have a lot of work on our hands, but it's a bad problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, eventually the tree roots and the tree canopy is going to sustain the bank and keep the water cool. I know that's down the line. There's other smaller shrubs that we can plant along the creek as well. before we rip out that honeysuckle. Yeah, I mean, it's a long game. We're playing the long game. There's nothing we can do about it. It hasn't been maintained.
I think something this commission is going to have to be prepared to talk about sooner than later is deer. And, you know, whether that's as part of the forestry plan, I strongly suspect he is going to recommend either putting deer enclosures or deer exclosures up, and I think that would be very educational for the public.
Yeah.
But I continue to get calls about deer eating my landscaping, why isn't the bird doing anything? And, you know, once I explained the whole history going back to 21 and, you know, the borough council's position at the time that these are not our deer, they are not our property, they go to Coomer, they go to Shillington, why should our taxpayers be responsible for taking care of them, and other information. They get it, but I know it's not the answer that they want to hear.
Right.
I don't understand why people think if we kill the deer in the parklands, the deer aren't going to go into neighborhoods.
I think you're always gonna have some
Yeah,
deer, but to
that's-
thin the herd, it would be really helpful. You could actually, I think like Nolde Forest does is, the borough could make money instead of paying somebody to come in, but it's a whole thing, it's a whole.
It's a lie. Yeah.
Managed archery season.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we
I
can.
think they do that up
Archers
at
come in, they do it at Berks Nature, yeah, they do it a lot of places.
Let our employees have first dibs.
Well, yeah.
That is wonderful.
That's why Greg's.
Deer meat for all.
Yeah, I know we have to get there. I knew this year there was no point in going in. So yeah, we'll get there. It is gonna be an expense though, and we don't have the money.
Not.
You can make money.
Well, that's how we have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
The concern with the council the last time was, I know from what I recall, you need a 50-foot span for bow hunting. Is it 150? It might be 150. Is
Well,
it
no,
yards?
it's pretty much 50, but
50 yards
from
or
a house,
50?
it's 100 yards.
It's 150, I thought, from a house.
Oh, I think it is 50
Yeah.
50 feet or 50 yards?
yards.
50 yards. I thought it was, yeah, it felt small. Okay, yards. The problem is there's so many ways for people to just walk into the park.
That's Nolde and Berks Nature too.
I know, so
mean-
I guess it requires maybe discussing with them.
How they did it, and my guess is.
People in certain spots,
Yeah.
you get the
Right.
permit and you go here at certain times too. It's-
Right.
it's-
Yeah, I think the hunters have to go through a local training
Yeah,
course.
you got
Yeah.
Yeah.
safety course.
Um,
Guys do it, it's worth it.
And I think there's a waiting list. at
Some
Nolde.
places, yeah.
okay. That'll be a winter project to look into. Okay. So we put in for reimbursements for BCPC for that money
Yes, and Rotary will be
and
coming.
Rotary. And we'll have stuff ready to go for printing soon for the Schuylkill Highlands. And the Bimbo Bakery money we're using to match
Did we-
anything, or do we
They said they
tell
were
them?
donating money, did you?
I didn't get any money.
I didn't get any.
Yeah, I didn't get any.
Somebody sent me a check.
Phil said she didn't get any money, so I don't know.
Oh.
They volunteered, they gave time, but they
I
didn't
feel
get.
like they might have fallen off.
Did
the
Bimbo
base.
Bakery give time? That was Rotary.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did
They did the
the,
pavilion.
They
Of course, yeah.
stained it.
Yep.
They just didn't pay for the stain. I think that's what they were talking about doing.
yeah, that's what they were gonna do, and we already had it. and-
Jack never came. Is it worth following up with them?
$6,000.
I know.
And not some change.
Yes,
Right.
that is worth.
Following up. Is that something that should come from me or from you or from Michelle?
I never actually had.
I can email
You want to email her?
her. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to CC me on it, I did have some conversation with her, and last time I did a outreach, I sent an email to her. She said, just send me the email and I can send it to my people, but I didn't get anything from her or them.
I mean, keep in mind too, the Rotary and the BCPC grants the applications when we requested funding included for signage. That was before we knew we got the School Highlands mini grant, which is solely towards signage, but I think we're gonna easily use up the 8,000 plus the match and then some.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have wiggle room if you
Yeah. What's the Highlands match? The Schuylkill Highlands match?
50%. And it can either be cash or in kind.
Can we do in kind as in the lead?
We could, but that's a lot of tracking that
Yeah.
we don't necessarily, like, in terms of doing it staff report, it's not a big deal. Greg, I think we talked about that, and it's simply pulling timesheets and Mike and Clancy really notating, like, on their timesheet, a specific code that we can figure out. It would be volunteer time, that would be an absolute nightmare to track,
Yeah,
so
no.
we could
Yeah.
do.
No, I
we
wouldn't
could
even-
do
yeah, I agree.
labor, and then we could also just do cash match, and we could actually use the cash from the Rotary or the county as part of that match.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
And well, since we've kind of touched on signage.
Yeah.
This is what would go on the big trailhead signs.
Yeah.
So before Mike and Clancy start cutting steel, I need to know, like, is that, and that's aluminum face. It'll last.
You guys read that from back there?
That's nice.
Yeah, we were talking about the font, what size font it had to be.
That can be figured out later. It's
And the
size and
contrast,
style.
The background is great.
Yeah,
Randy, did you do that?
Randy got that.
yeah, looks good, Andy.
The way that it's kind of different from what the layout was, where it says of Wyomissing was a little smaller. So the hierarchy would be the trail name, departments, and then
Of Wyomissing, yeah. No, that makes sense.
And I don't know if I can touch on this now, but
Yeah.
the number of signs and where are we putting what signs? Like how many
Yeah.
of the big ones? And
I
I
think,
think
That
you
is
saw some of
Segue
these.
to trail names. 'Cause
yeah, we'll get
I-
over there. Yeah. No, I mean, I think, is this what you were visualizing when I was kind of showing you the other stuff?
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
Can I, just
Yeah, no,
one
please.
thing I wanted to say is, are we concerned about accessibility?
ADA accessible.
Yeah, concerns with I just know I'm in website design and we have to worry about contrast of text to background. And I didn't know if that is an issue. Putting text over images is usually an accessibility problem. So I don't know if that's something that needs to be reviewed.
It's not in terms of the grant.
but it is something we
Yes.
should probably consider.
I spoke to
Yeah,
the person that we took the design from is out of Colorado. And she produced it and worked with, I forgot what the name of the township was, but we took her design and I asked her about that specific.
Oh, okay, good.
And she said she's in Colorado. She goes, I can't tell you Pennsylvania, but Colorado has no such regulations.
For signage.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're probably talking ADA, which is better.
Just to jump back to the 0.6, I mean, with the maintenance question for the boardwalk, I mean, just to throw it out there, I've seen really cool boardwalks that are metal with like cable railings and like a metal, corrugated steel kind of platform for them. So that could be something to like think of. It would be more upfront cost, but just like,
Was it steel posts going?
yeah, steel post with like a concrete footer, like an I-beam kind of post, and then like that kind of like corrugated steel platform, and then like a cable railings. I've seen that a couple of places. I mean, Morris Arboretum has a cool like woodland boardwalk that's that kind of material and style, but so just something maintenance wise that I'm sure that has, it looks like it's galvanized or something like that, but
Even if the framing was steel and we had a.
yeah, and you could replace the slats or something.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
easier.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, could you do steel framing and like Trex stacking slats?
Good,
And
Yeah.
that would be far less maintenance.
yeah.
Not gonna last as long as steel, but yeah.
Anybody know any manufacturers off the top of your head that make boardwalks like that?
And
Clancy and Mike.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, that's gonna be the next step if we go in, we're gonna have to get a cost estimate and like quotes from a manufacturer. So we should, if we're considering that route, that's what we need to be prepared for.
just gonna make a comment as far as the font and the visibility or the contrast. Would it be possible for the white lettering just to have thin black outlines? Like, it's an option and,
It's possible to do anything, I
I
think.
mean, anyway, that would, that's just the,
Or darken the background a little. I didn't mean to raise an issue that might not be an issue, but I just.
No, better to raise.
No,
it.
I agree that it makes sense to think that. My first thought was font when we were talking about it the other day, like what is,
Yeah,
how large does the font have to be?
right.
For people to be able to read it. For me, very large. Okay. Anything else on these topics with the grants and such?
Just to the point of like the optics of the future tree plantings and that sort of thing. Like I never saw like the species list that Larry came up with, but I mean like that could definitely like we could do like a mix of like bigger and smaller stuff, or like live stakes, and like be a little intentional with like planting like B&B oak trees, and then like using smaller saplings for like early successional faster growing species, and doing like live stake underplantings. Like, I don't know, I wasn't involved in any of that planning or anything, but there's definitely like ways of making a much more showy, dramatic riparian restoration that doesn't feel quite as utilitarian. So definitely,
If we added a
Yeah.
couple bigger ones even to the area that we did, it would just, it's up to you guys, but
Yeah.
it's kind of what we talked about.
It's gonna please the parkland users much more.
It might.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
Oh, and it's not really part of the grant, but it's free. I got 150 free tree shelters. Did you see that email? I submitted the app. So she'll notify us when we can pick them up. I don't know how much a tree shelter costs. I should after looking at all those invoices, but free is,
Larry said they're not cheap.
I kind of figured, so. Yay!
Are they the solid ones with the small punches like Larry has, or are they more of those like?
I have no idea.
You
I
don't-
sent
they're
I sent him the options when I like logged in to sign up for it. It had a drop down box of like 12 different options, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this means.
You
So
said
I
that to Larry?
screenshotted it, sent it to Larry. He's like, get these and only these. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And how long do those stay on for? I have no idea. Are they supposed to be there for 2 years, 3 years?
They're supposed to be there a while. Like, right now, they're keeping the deer from eating the leaves. Once they get taller, the leaves will be higher and grow out of it, but they're there to protect the
You
deer
have to worry
from
about the rub,
the
yeah.
buck rub
I
and.
guess you take them off and then put a regular tree guard on them after that for a while.
at the Highlands, the comment has been they stay on until the tree bursts them,
Comes out.
grows them,
Yeah,
basically.
kind of uprows it.
Oh, really? So.
Once the tree starts getting bigger, then it's not as noticeable. You'll see a tree, not just two leaves. We'll see. See how many of them survive. Okay. We have trail names to look at. So I sent this to all of you individually. I heard back from many of you. It's not as easy to read on this screen, the purple versus the blue and such. But we kind of went back to where council and or we wanted to go, which was a little more historical. Does anybody have any questions?
Do you have background, like, what is Founder's Lane? Like, what's the background behind that? What's the background behind Winter's Way?
So
this-
Winter's Way has always been there, and I have to find the background behind it. It was somebody, Mr.
He
Winter,
was the first park foreman, if you will.
first park foreman.
All the answers.
Yeah,
Like Schmucker's lived with the Stonehouse is because the Stonehouse was the Schmucker family.
yeah. Founder's Way, is it Way? Do I have Founder's
Lane.
Lane? Founder's Lane is for Toon and Jansen. I didn't really want to use their names, separately because there's a Toon trail somewhere already. So we went with Founder's Lane. The Enchanted Pines, I decided to delineate from, where's purple? From Lutz's Loop that was the Lutz Farm, the family farm. And we just, and Kevin worked for the borough for a long time.
Dwayne and I went out for a short period of time, and we found that Lutzy's Loop on the map is not true to what Lutzy's Loop is
Okay.
out there. So, and that's as far as we got. So
All right.
all the rest could be perfect, but it's probably something we should.
Yeah, we definitely need to make sure we're doing it before we redraw a map and get it up on the website.
So if anybody's out hiking and you guys see something, just let you know, and then we'll.
Yeah,
An assignment for your fall walk, Randy.
exactly. The yellow one, Springhouse Trail. I mean, you walk right past the little Springhouse there. Like I said, Enchanted Pines, I kind of delineated so you know whether you're in, and that's what everybody calls it. So I figured why not stick with it. Meadow Run is just something that loops around inside the meadows. Summit Trail, I decided to change to Lenape Way, and then I added down in the bottom, like down towards the wetlands area, Sipunk Trail to bring in some of the native heritage. Kindy has reached out to see if we can get, I've looked at a bunch of sites to try and make sure I was on track for the right wording and got overlapping agreements. But we also reached out to a local organization to kind of get their approval or agreement or, up in arms about us using these names, which I don't think should be an issue, but we'll see. Yeah, and like I spoke, we have Stonehouse, Schmuckers.
And
Yes.
will reference be made to the background of the names on the?
So, yeah, I mean, kind of the way this is, I think it would say,
Yeah.
Lenape Lane.
Yeah.
Lenape Lane, and we'll tell you, where it goes and some background. That's what all this is for.
Okay.
So that would be kind of on each of these. I think some of those smaller ones that lean back, what I'm talking about, they could be at meeting points, kind of where the red and the dark blue and the yellow kind of meet there at Ruth's Bridge, with kind of like an arrow to these two trails and maybe some information. So we don't have to have these real huge ones at every intersection.
You're thinking about this one.
Some of them might be sort of near Ruth's Bridge, and it could show you arrows to the 3 trails that shoot off of Ruth's Bridge, which is.
Do you want something like that there's a lot of intersections?
Right, and so that might be, yeah, I think, so here's the deal, we're gonna have to time this out, we don't have enough grant money for all of it.
Yeah.
So the first goal is to at least get, if approved, Founder's Lane we want to start at Old Mill parking lot. So we're gonna get Founder's Way, hopefully get a large riparian buffer informational signage piece there.
One of
Yes.
these guys.
Maybe down towards the creek down that way, further down. And at the entrance, either a kiosk or a welcome sign that will have the map with a QR code that will take you directly to the map on your phone, and stuff like that.
Sorry, do you want to pass that around since I don't have it in PDF format?
Oh, yeah. So ideally, you're starting at kind of the parking lots or the entranceways with some of your lead signs. Oh, and then near Goodman Barn there's all those little sort of putts around trails. I just figured we'd name them Goodman's Paths, just so they have a lane. And I think naming everything was important for EMS.
Yes.
Yes, so that's really where I wanted to make sure everything had a name. I got a question from somebody about too many names, but I kind of think like Creek Trail went like all the way from one end to the other, didn't it? And then whatever it was
You're
called.
talking 10 trail names for 350 acres.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's bad, but I'm willing to take.
I think this is a great scheme. I love the names. I think
Okay.
you've done fantastic work.
All right.
That's a lot of work.
It makes it fun to have different trails if you get.
Yeah, to have the
Let's
names,
walk this
yeah.
one, see what.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, initially, we would start with the sign at the park, at Old Mill. Prior to really going anywhere, we need to know how long is that road? Founder's Lane starts at Ruth's, basically goes down to Ruth's Bridge and across over to the skating pond and back. So you could call it, you know, a loop of sorts. We need to know the length of that. We need to know like where it is on the map specifically so that when we recreate the map down the road, we have it, like you said, Lexus Lane is in the wrong spot for a loop.
So those indicators aren't right, the 1.9 miles for Creek Trail?
I have no idea, but Creek Trail is different now than what Creek Trail is
Okay.
different, like
Greg, when that,
Founder's Lane is only a part of
that
Creek
map was
Trail.
created with GIS, so I think
That's what I was getting at. I think that was during Rob's era.
yeah. Like
And they went out
2017,
and
2018.
GPSed it, yeah.
We could probably put it in CS Data.
We still have that. I could do some digging on the F drive, but I'm 99% sure we still have that
Ooh,
data.
because Kevin could put that right
Yeah.
on CS Data and we could
Yeah.
figure some stuff out.
Yeah. Because we can sort of say, you can go down to Sip-Up Trail and say that's kind of a loop down there. You go from Ruth's Bridge and you can go down and loop around and come back. So yeah, we're gonna need to figure out, this is not as easy as it looks. But creating the information with the holes that need to be filled in is easy enough.
It'd be fun to, like, get out and do some e-birding, you know, if you're doing an e-bird checklist, it gives you your distance.
Right,
And it would be fun to see if that matches up, yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Are those signs going to be, or something be color coordinated with the trail to a sign, or?
I don't think they need to be. Unless we want to put trail mark, unless we want to like, you know, when you're walking in Hawk Mountain or something, there's like red dots on the trees every once in a while. But our trails aren't that big and long. I mean, I guess they kind of are, but.
The only thing
That's-
you might think about is making this the color of the trail, of Summit Trail.
Or we could put the blue at the parklands of Wyomissing blue at the top, and then that Summit Trail line could be the color of, could be the color that matches the map, and that might be beneficial. That would be helpful.
At the park entrance, would there be a map
The goal would be, to have a map
with the color?
with the colors, a small one with also a QR code that it would pop open on your phone, so you have it with you on your phone.
Right.
So the old mill, we have a kiosk there.
Right.
And then where would we put the trailhead sign? Next to the kiosk?
Or even closer up towards the parking lot, like the trailhead,
Okay.
you know, we have the little sign there. There's a trail sign there. It could be anywhere sort of in that area.
And are you gonna name I mean, there's only really 2 parking lots or 3 parking lots. Are we gonna put that on the map as well?
We certainly can.
It was just a thought, like Dwayne and I were kind of spending a little bit of time on this.
Yeah.
Like, well, we
It
know
makes
it's the
sense to
island
name the
lot.
parking lots. Yeah, I mean, the more things have official names, the more beneficial it is for EMS. The more common it becomes. Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say, does that lot actually have a number?
I can address it if it doesn't. That's
Yeah,
easy.
if
I
we
have
can
to do all
address
the
them,
address
that's great.
assignment letters in the borough, so that's easy if we name it
Well, I mean, just
Yeah.
like what happened when,
that lady, yeah.
like,
Yeah, that would be fantastic. if We can address it. Yeah, whatever information we can add would be great. Well, nothing's official until do we have a motion on here? We haven't had a motion in a long time. Do we have, well, let me say, I would like to make the motion to recommend to council approve the list of the revised trail names for the parklands. Second, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Yay. So that will go on to council in December. And we'll know at that point if they like our ideas.
Jim, one of the things Greg and I talked about was rolling it out or documenting that it's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. It's like you mentioned, you're not gonna have enough money to go in and go, okay, we're
Right.
doing the entire park plans. Have you got to that level yet where I know that phase one is gonna be?
Phase one's gonna be Old Mill. Yeah.
Is that in writing in a document anywhere where those phases are?
No. I think it's going to be guided by the money. Like if we run out of money, then we have to stop. I think the phases would be to get the trail names up first. And then after that would be to get educational signage, outside of the fact that we want to try and get the one big sign at where we're working at the repair and buffer there off Old Mill.
I think that we're gonna have to figure out first, okay, how many trail
Right.
signs do we need, what's the cost for that, and if we could break that up into phases, go
Right.
that way. So you'd almost have like phase one, part A, part B.
We have costs.
Right, and we have to determine, well, first we have to wait for council to approve. And if they want unnamed ones, first we have to get their word. Then we have to make sure where the intersections are actually accurate. Do we want to put a sign there? We need to know how close the map is to what it should be. So we know where the intersections are and where signs should be placed. So there's a lot of still steps working up to it. But I know we have to get some information in because we have to get the 8,000 spent by.
Yeah, it's been.
We've
Right.
spent all of our money basically by the end of June.
Right.
How much sign money do we have?
8,000 plus match, and then we could be creative. I have to go back, but I'm pretty sure we put like 3,100 in both the county and the Rotary for signs specific. So 6,200 plus 8,000 plus 4,000, 14,2, 18,2. I'm shortchanging us there, 14. 6,200 plus 8,000 would be 14,2.
18.2.
Plus half the 8 would be 4, so yeah, 18,2.
Would your plan, does that include like the special interest signs that I showed you? So in other words, if it's the Golden Meadow, if it's the Enchanted Forest, but like the Stone House.
Yeah, we can use the money for all of that.
We can use the money for all that, but I think we're gonna use that 18,2 very quickly just on the trail
Just on the
sign.
trail signs. That's why, trail signs would be,
Trail signs,
trail sign names would be above and beyond.
that's 700, there's about $780 just for us to make one of them.
Plus this.
That's without,
Without this.
Yeah.
And then this one had a to be determined. Do we know the cost of this?
Pricing back on that.
Okay.
But that,
I mean,
It's been on
the small one here is 55 each.
55, so
Graphic,
maybe this is
$100.
100, 200. So you said 7, I mean, I was assuming it was gonna be, would you say
Figure-
7 what? I'm
$1,000
thinking
apiece.
$1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
Plus, we can put the labor,
That's including labor.
that's including the labor to create that steel. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's not installing them, right?
No, that's.
No,
not-
we could include the labor for install in there too,
Okay.
just to use up our match money. If you,
Would we get that back? We wouldn't get that back.
no, that's like our match.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be our match, but we use that as our, so we have to match 4,000. So any labor for creating the sign and any labor for installing the sign, if we can track your labor.
Yep.
Or whoever's labor for that, we can use that towards, this is our match.
And I can ask,
time.
'cause it never hurts to ask, when we apply for the Schuylkill Highlands mini grant again, for the same thing, just like we got a lot of signs to put in and they cost a
Right.
lot of money, so.
Yeah.
So we want to do trailhead signs throughout the whole parklands first,
Yes.
and then go back and do
I think
the
so, yeah.
intersection trail.
Yeah, I mean, if we have 18,000, it's
spent that.
less than 18
Yeah.
signs. Yeah, it's spent, right. So we gotta start manufacturing them. My thought, and I guess this is something that has to go into the approval of the signs, even though we made that motion. Maybe we need to discuss it or figure out how to do that. But what we didn't discuss was the cutout at the top, which my thought was to keep it consistent with variation by just doing leaf silhouettes. Thought that was just kind of the easiest way, unless somebody has any other idea. And I thought leaf silhouette wise, you would know best, like, oh, well, over here, there's a lot of,
Maples.
maples, so we could do a maple leaf. Or over here, there's a lot of this. I don't know if it really matters. If they see a consistent sort of leaf imagery, then I think it would work. Does that
Yeah, I
make
think that makes
sense?
sense.
You can amend your motion.
Okay, I'd like to amend the motion to approve recommending the council the list of revised trail names with the accompanying silhouettes for signage. Do you second the amended motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, fantastic. So leaves it'll be.
Just a thought,
Yes.
instead
You're
of
gonna make me amend it again.
putting all the new trail name signs up, do you want to take the section of Old Mill and put in the informational sign that you want to put in and put in the cross trail signs? And we can do temporary signage
For
for,
everything else.
for the rest of the trails. That way you have a section that's done. And
I would like to get in the trail sign and the informational signage in the first run.
Okay.
I have a team working on it. I'm meeting with them today, and then we're gonna take what they have and move forward with it to try and get that full one done. That one complete. I mean, we're gonna get as much information to you as quickly as we can, wherever you think we want it, and we can work on Old Mill. But then, so that we can start manufacturing and start printing and start spending money.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the plan.
Can you put together a timeline? If we know we have to spend the money by X for approvals, artwork approval, go into production, and so on, and start putting some.
I would think by January, our January meeting, that's all gotta be approved to give enough time, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So there you go, January meeting. 2 months.
Do you want Dwayne and I to go out and mark the areas where we think you guys might want the signage, and then you guys can get that area, or are you pretty?
I wouldn't even go that far ahead right now. You guys got plenty to do for now. We can look at that at some point.
The only reason I say that is because we're gonna go out anyway and check at least from Old Mill, make sure all the trails are, marked right on the map. And we're gonna get a count of how many intersection signs we need, so.
If you're there,
If we're gonna be
then,
there.
yeah, if you're there and doing it, then that's fine. But that's, yeah, I don't want to add any more work to what you have to do right now. I know you guys are busy. Okay, does anybody have anything else they want to add to trail names or talk about? Okay, number 7, we have the memorial tree planting.
I received a request by the Maintenance and Parks Union if the Park and Shade Commission and ultimately council would approve planting a tree in Kevin Woods' honor in the parklands. Kevin was a 40-year employee of the borough, lead of the Parks Department, plus that was his family's land. I don't know that there's someone more appropriate we would consider planting a tree in their memory of, but he is certainly it in my opinion.
I have no problem with it. Do they want to account for the fact that it's a tree for him? Like, do they want some sort of signage, or they just want to plant a tree in his honor that they know of?
The request,
That's what I,
the request to me was just, can we plant a tree?
I think as long as the tree, I don't think there really has to be anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's also getting his trail too.
Correct.
Yeah. No, I have no problem with it.
I don't think he'd want a sign, because
Yeah, you
he's a
could put
bitch
the tree
about
near his
don't
door.
know what's to mow.
Yeah, put the tree in his area near his trail.
Randy and I have been working on some stuff, and maybe like a tag.
Tree tags.
Tree tags, yeah, I know Rotary Club has talked about tree tags.
That takes kind of care of what Greg's concern is about mowing,
Your Honor?
weeding, and the extra work it is to do around that. And you put, that's what a lot of
Yeah,
townships and boroughs do, is tree tags.
yep.
Which is what?
I think it just hangs, doesn't it? And it's a little tag that hangs off of one of the branches. And I guess, I mean, the park department has to keep an eye on the fact that if that branch is getting bigger, it doesn't strangle it and kill it off. I think that's the only
Pretty much.
thing we need to watch for, right?
Like that?
Oh, it's one of those, like you just tap it in.
It's like a dog tag.
Yeah,
Wow.
no? You're thinking a hanging tag, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Rotary Club was talking about, hanging tags. Because they were like, oh, these trees are too small to even hang a tag on it.
Oh, I see.
Like that?
I don't think that would be a good idea. I feel like that would.
That looks
Looks like a
expensive.
spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's a spring.
Well,
Let's see what Amazon has for sale.
Look at that, there you go.
$36, that's not bad.
look at the second picture on the left though of that, like, yeah, something like that I think is what. You know,
What I
you
saw
gotta,
a lot of was that the borough or the township guarantees for a 2-year lifespan. And in case branches break, it gets lost, it blows off, whatever, and then after that, if they want to extend it, they can pay more money.
oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't make the maintenance and parks union pay, I think we could just put it on. But that's, I feel like it's affordable. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not including the tree. The tree's
Where
$750.
are we paying for the tree or are they
No.
paying for the tree?
I would assume the union's paying for the tree.
That would be my assumption, that they want to plant a tree.
Paying for the tree?
Kinda sound that way.
I can take a donations, give it to you at cost.
Yeah, we'll give it to you at cost, Dwayne.
Take one, I'd pay into the donation bin.
I would too.
Put into the
He was
tree.
a good dude.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve recommending council approve the planting of a tree in the parklands in memory of former employee Kevin Lutz.
I just,
Yes, go ahead.
is there any specific type of tree?
I would leave that up to you to determine based on the location and the,
My thought and our thoughts would be one of the evergreens, because they planted all that.
yeah.
I would rather do a spruce. They stay form nicer, better. They're a lot stronger.
I have no problem.
And put it in stonehouse.
Okay, and then we want to put that kind of near his trail, or where are you thinking of putting it?
Yeah, I would, the way that it kind of works out, be towards the trail. I would, like if it'd be up towards the top, kind of overlooking.
Okay.
Sort of.
You don't want to put it in the stonehouse for a Christmas tree for us?
No.
We can put another one in.
Yeah, this is for Kevin. I think it should go in the farmlands and.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Would anybody like to make that motion?
I so move.
Second? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And this is pending not being funded by the borough for the tree? You guys will figure it out? We'll give the donations?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, anybody opposed? Did I get yays? All those in favor, yeah? Opposed? No? Okay. The ayes have it. Memorial Bench Program.
Those are, Lucy, you might be the only person in the room that remembers the prior conversation. Back in 21, Dan Macrina was the rec director at the time. We had talked about starting a memorial bench program where, you know, people could go on our website and we would have, I think, 2 types of benches that they could pick from. One. You know, they basically bore the cost of everything, included a plaque. I think there was different discussions on plaque on the
Yeah.
bench, plaque somewhere else. So Randy's put together some more up-to-date information on a Memorial Park bench and tree donation program. But before he goes any further with that, is there interest in even doing this? I mean, and Randy can talk through the number of calls he gets, but it's pretty substantial.
I get at
Yeah.
least 3 phone calls a week on this.
So yeah, the commission was all for it beginning of last year, I think, or 2 years ago, I guess, when I came on as chair. The problem is we had the parkland study being created and developed, and so now that we're getting somewhere with the parklands, I think I'm all for it. But I do prefer, I looked at the 2 websites that Dan had posted in that email. One of them was of the more metal, kind of braided metal one, and then the other one was more like this, the kind of
It's
Trex
aluminum-
decking.
Yeah, aluminum legs, Trex.
Right. Now there's this company, but also I think the Frog is the one
That's what I
they,
can pull up.
they talked about it. You know, there's also the Trex program where we like get so many plastic bags, and once you have like
Yeah, that's a lot of
3,000 pounds of plastic
That's a lot of
bags. I know. But I'm just saying, we could see what that company, if we were to just buy them from that company, what that costs. And then we could also have now we're not allowed to put any of this this flexible plastic in our recycling, so maybe more people would be willing to bring it here to a collection box or somewhere where it gets picked up.
So I thought Randy did a really good job of putting this little program, just kind of like an overview, very first draft together. If you do a memorial tree, I don't have this in PDF.
Oh, okay.
I can pass it around then.
That's fine. Oh, I
And
haven't
again,
seen this,
just
yeah.
food for thought. I would actually prefer maybe take some time to think about it when we can discuss further and flesh it out for the January meeting. But this would be both a memorial tree and memorial bench program. Recommended tree species, they're covering the cost, again, comes with the tree tag. The memorial benches cost is $2,500, 5-year warranty and maintenance, and the donor can choose to pay an additional $750 to extend the maintenance program for other time. Personal meeting with the park representatives to discuss and determine best bench location. Certificate signed by the mayor. I thought that was a really nice touch.
And a website.
Yeah, and acknowledgement on the borough's website under the borough's Park and Shade Tree Commission, and that avoids, I think, the plaque portion, that we're not chasing plaques and what happens in 20 years when we take something down and the family's like, oh, I didn't know. So I think it's just a much cleaner, simpler process.
It seems very doable.
Yeah.
And it's not the borough putting money out.
It's
Right,
Labor
yeah.
in there.
So that was, is there more copies? Sorry, can I keep this one? I haven't seen this yet. No. Thank you, Randy. That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it if you guys are, with the theory that, yeah, we have a plan in place for maintenance and for how long.
I mean, so my thought is, I don't know how much more you need to detail that, but whatever.
Finalize what the bench is,
Yeah.
finalize what the tags are, if we put plaques on the benches, and then go live with it. Because like I said, 3 to 5 times a week, I literally say, we don't have one in place yet, we're waiting for the fire department plan to take effect, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And people grow tired of that.
Do you want to maybe for the January meeting, come up with like 2 to 3 types of benches that they can review and pick from? And then with the January agenda, we can push that out with those pictures and you can vote and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I like the idea of all the benches need to be of the same style, but you could do some with backs and some without backs. There's like backless benches in some areas that kind of work nicely there. I don't know where the plaque, I mean, I guess if you just.
Don't need it, that's what we were saying though. Instead of a plaque, it would just be, you're listed on the borough website.
So there's no plaque on the bench.
So what about etching instead of a plaque?
I think you're still gonna have the same long-term problem of what happens when the bench goes and.
Right.
Or the
It's gonna last
etching,
forever.
the etching, depending on
Yeah,
what it's gonna get.
And we
Rick and I talked about record keeping. And, in the past, I don't know that there was or there was not.
Wasn't like,
No.
There was not, so if you have a warranty on it, you need to know when that warranty expires. Or if you need to move a bench, you need to know who to contact. We talked about some type of database and being able to keep track of, Randy bought this in January of 25, warranty's up in this month, here's who we bought it for. It's posted on the website, we have an alert set up that when the warranty expires. There's ways to do it.
Yeah, I think people would like to see that tiny, even if it's a small plaque, a small little brass plaque that's tacked in that could be theoretically removed after they're done and somebody else buys that same bench or something. I think people like to see, their grandma's name there or something. I don't know. I'm not sure how it would go over,
There's a 5-year warranty and maintenance program that's part of this.
right?
After 5 years, the donors may extend the maintenance program for
Right.
750 years. I mean, that could maybe satisfy that requirement.
Or maybe there's like one of the signs, like somewhere in like a somewhat prominent location, could have like,
all of them.
here's the benches on the different trails and here's who they're in memory of. And then that could be like a
Living wall.
changeable sign, like you
Yes.
slide out.
That could be something that could go in the kiosk, and you could hit a QR code that would like show you where all the bench
Yeah,
names are.
I mean, I agree with you though, that I think people like having a physical, you can go and see the names.
They want to see grandma's name.
On the actual bench, or like in its own kiosk or its own sign with like some sort of like changeable text or something. I don't know, but
I mean, what do you guys think about
The
the name at the bench versus not? I don't know.
name at the bench, yeah.
The name at, like to have the name, to have grandma.
I mean, I would agree with that.
I would imagine most people who call up probably want that recognition.
yeah, if they're paying $2,000+ for a bench, I
So
would imagine they'd
are
want their name on it.
Are the benches gonna go on macadam or on cement, or is just the ground? That's something else you have to think about. And also, you're talking about this high demand? Like, how many,
How many is too many?
too many? Like, are we gonna limit the
We can put them
number?
on a wait
That's
list.
a combination
Yeah.
of trees and benches.
Yeah, because I mean, that's definitely something you have to
This
think
program
about.
was, incredibly popular in
Yeah.
Ocean City, New Jersey.
Oh, and you're saying you
And
get
it
3
is,
calls
yeah.
a week.
People put their names on the plaques, and there are benches all the way down.
And how
the
many
boardwalk.
benches do we want in the park?
Yeah, I mean.
Well,
like,
they did have to close down their program. This is a,
First come, first served.
it's sort of a, yeah, there's gonna be waitlisted, because it's
That's
gonna
what I
take
saw.
time. Yeah, it's gonna be
The wait list.
waitlisted. It may get shut down for a temporary time or indefinitely.
But I
I
think that
don't know.
I think that we need to like have a decision about that prior to
Before,
rolling
I
it
agree.
out.
Right, all of this has
How
to
many,
be
how many
sussed out.
benches can we fit without it feeling like we have a wall of benches
Yeah.
in the park?
Right.
So that when we roll out the program, if we get 100 calls, we know, okay, like, as before those calls start coming in, that we only have 50 benches and 100 trees to plant that year. Or, whatever that is.
Might be.
I think that
I don't know.
we should make that decision
Yeah.
before we are opening the floodgates to,
Yeah,
people.
we have to figure out what kind of benches we want, what they cost. We have to
Bench carrying capacity.
figure out a lot of things before it rolls out.
A list of approved tree species, maybe?
Right.
That's in there. Well, and I mean, so keep in mind, they would be paying the money, we'd be buying the tree and I assume planting it.
Right.
Not just like, yeah, give us your money and you can have a free-for-all planting day in our parklands.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
That list of trees was from Greg and Dwayne.
Okay.
I'd almost
No sycamores?
be the downer here, but a tree and a tag might be better than a tree, a tag, and a bench. Just because you worry about if there's 30 benches out there. And
No, you buy one or the other, right?
Yeah.
The
I'm
bench.
just saying no ban. I'm saying if
Oh, yeah.
people want to memorialize someone in their family, I get it. They could plant a tree, a tag, but maybe we don't want the bench. Because I can see that being a problem where there's too many benches, they become disrepair. You have to keep a log of maintenance. You plant a tree, you plant a tree.
Right.
Maybe
We
we're
need
making it
benches
too
either way,
complicated.
though. We need benches either way.
But not that many.
Not that many.
Yeah.
So does the price go up higher?
5,000?
Are these $5,000 benches? I don't know. Who wants to buy a bench?
Silver memorial, a platinum memorial, or a diamond
Exactly.
memorial?
But we do need to replace a lot of benches in the parklands. We do need consistency in the benches. So to do this program,
Well, that's something too, like these guys have been making a lot of the benches, is that something you want to continue or?
I don't know, is it better to switch over to Trex decking style benches where we're not constantly dealing with rotten boards and the log benches are the ones you guys are making, right? With the,
No, they're making,
with the,
they're making stuff like this.
like that.
Yeah, similar to that.
I mean, if we do the bench program and start doing it with the Trex decking and just then we're not paying you guys to build it, it's not costing us anything. It will eventually close, like these programs close. And then maybe 15 years later, 20 years later, they open back up again, I don't know, but I am not opposed to it. I know people have been asking about it. I know there's a council member who desperately wants this.
Basically, we need to come back in January with a lot more information for you to chew on.
I think so.
That's fine.
Yeah. I'd be curious as to what the benches cost from this plastic company where you can turn in bags, and maybe we can also start a turn in bag situation over at Redmond's, or whoever collects them.
It is
Find
truck,
a collection spot.
it's truck stacking that the Rotary works with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can probably find the link on the Rotary's website and send it to you.
Because I would like to, and we've talked about that program before, trying to push that program out, and just, it's a way for the community also to get rid of their flexible plastics, which we're not gonna be able to do come January. So they could do that, then it goes somewhere, it doesn't take you guys any time, we take it somewhere, it goes to Trex, they weigh it, and they calculate, and once we hit X number of pounds, we get a free bench. But the theory would be like, but what does it cost to buy benches from them for the memorial benches? We can do that too. And then all our benches are at least from the same manufacturer, and there's a unified look to them. So we can look at their site and see what those cost. I don't know. Just a thought. All right.
You can buy planks in the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Seen it on boardwalks
Yeah.
like that.
Or sections of the railing on a boardwalk, I've seen
Yeah,
that
there's all
being
kinds of things
waived,
that's fun.
like,
All right. Anything else? You may need.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can help.
Yeah, I think we need more information. We'll talk about it again in January. Sound good? There's no motion on it anyway. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to add? No? Okay. No public comment? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you all. I appreciate it.